first doing last minute. Oh dear.
At least mine ain't gone on and on.
So welcome to this meeting of the Community Environment Committee, which has been held here at Newton Leys Pavilion on Tuesday, June 18, 2024. I'm Councillor Terry Stevens and I'll be chairing this meeting. Before we start, a few housekeeping rules to note. We're not expecting any fire drills, but if you hear the sound, please leave as quickly as possible. Fire exits. Toilets in the foyer if you ever need them. So could everyone please turn off your mobile phones or put them silent? We want everyone to be here, so please respect who is speaking. Also, you should be aware that this meeting is being streamed, recorded, and maybe streamed on our social media channels, like YouTube. I will now ask members of the Council Committee to introduce themselves, starting with Councillor Sam Brown.
Hello, I'm Samantha Brown. I'm a town councillor for the Lake State area.
I'm O'Rourke, Councillor for Fenny.
Rod Hine, Councillor for Going Away and Doing. So I'm Ismail Hussain, Councillor for Manor South.
I'm Councillor Otelia Fernandez, Councillor for Fenny, Stratford and Bletchley.
Terry Stevens, Manor South.
John Fairclough, Deputy Town Clerk. Will Allen, Environment and Premises Manager.
Nathaniel Kelly-Wilson, and I'm a councillor for Newton Leys and also chair of the Town Council.
Mr Graham, Vice Chair of Bletchley Fenny Stratford Town Council and Central Bletchley.
We've also got Davina Charlie I followed on Teams. She works in our for John in our events. Okay, we are especially pleased to welcome members of the public who are here ready to observe the meeting or make representations during the public speaking session. This is the formal meeting that will be conducted according to our standing orders. This means members of the public may make representations during the public session and may only speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. This allows us, we've got a big agenda, it allows us to do our business. However, if you want to talk more length, you can talk afterwards or can raise it at the meeting. Okay, so if we can go on to agenda item number 1. No councillors off. Councillor Wine. Agenda item number 2. To note the councillor's declaration of interest in any matters on the agenda. Take that. Ethan.
There is an item for Newton Leys on the for planning, but I'm not a close neighbour, so it's not pecuniary interest.
Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to go on to forward public speaking. We're just going to approve the minutes of the last both the Environment and Planning Committee and the Community Committees on pages 1 to 6 of your pack. So I'll just go through the pages. Page 1, page 2, page 3. Any comments on them? Nope. Thank you. We'll take them as read. Page 5. So this is the Community Committee. Page 5. Page 6. Any comments? John will take them as read. Okay. So agenda item number 5 is to consider a community grant application for £800 from the Bletchley and Fenny Stratford Green Gym. So would you like to address the
Yes, we can. Shall we do your job?
councillors? And
I wasn't entirely expecting this. I thought we were here to really just answer questions. However, I'll just summarise this. I think you know who the Bletchley and Fenny Stratford Green Gym are, because we've been run by the TCV, but they have left us and we've set up on our own, and we've spent the last couple of months putting all our paperwork and constitution and formalising ourselves. But we need some money because we have materials to buy, for example, soil or compost, or we've still got a couple of raised beds to make, so we need some wood. I've had to pay the insurance out of my own funds at the moment. I hope to get that back from the TCV fund, but we won't get a result till next month. So we met with Will, and Will is very encouraging, not only to work on the site, which, as you know, you're leasing to us, but also to help in the other green spaces. So recently we were helping planters outside the library. So, you know, our green gym is partly to look after the green space, and it's partly it helps us physically and with our mental health, etc., those kind of things. So it's very much a community thing, and hopefully we'll get enough produce in the future that we can donate it to the community larder. So that's the idea. We're slightly in the dark about what we need in terms of running costs, but Central Milton Keynes Green Gym, who have been running for a while, not quite sure how long, a couple of years, they have just under £1,000 in their bank account, and that seems to be what they need to keep going for a year. So I've put 800 because we've also got an application in somewhere else for 500, but that's very restricted to tools or insurance or admin, so we want to get some leaflets done. So what we're really after is a pool of money, which, as you can see from the application, we've got some ideas, but that we don't have to absolutely stick to that. You know, we keep it and we need it as necessary. If by any chance we didn't manage to spend it all, we would have £157 worth of insurance to pay next year. So, you know, it'll just roll over.
Yeah.
So we're hoping you'll look kindly on us so that we can continue in the vein that we've been in for the last 3 years. And if you haven't been down to our beautiful allotment site, which obviously the council owns, come and see it, because we've transformed it from an overgrown mess into a beautiful allotment.
Questions from members? Thank you very much.
I don't really have a question.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for doing such an amazing job.
Oh, that's nice.
And I know, because I've sat in meetings, that sometimes there's been some dispiriting actions that have occurred from people, you know, close by. And, you know, I think it's a testament to your group that not only have you gone back and dug in again, but at this town council, we are all about empowering the local community to look after our local space, and that's what you're doing. So can I say thank you?
Oh, that's really kind. I think Hannah has more experience of suffering some of the things that happened when we worked at Leon Ray.
Yeah.
The worst that's happened to the allotment is someone has stolen all our plums.
I'd echo, you know, we really appreciate what your amazing team does. And I'm at the Bug Hotel in Leon Ray.
Yeah.
You give us up.
Yes.
Next week,
Yeah.
we'll be burnt.
Yeah.
You just break your heart. But we've done it over the last couple of years, especially Pinewood allotment. It's been totally transformed. So it's amazing. And Saffron Gardens, we still get a lot of comments from Saffron Gardens, what you've been doing down there.
Yeah.
And Leon Rec, it's a nice park.
Yeah.
It just gets badly, you know, it gets some bad visitors sometimes, as we all know.
Well, Lee said to us, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think we're gonna, they wanted to make it a green flag.
Green flag, yeah.
Yeah, so they need the community to help, and he's quite keen on us helping to make it a green
Fantastic.
flag.
Is £800 enough?
Oh, if you want to give us more, we'll take it. I mean, it's a little bit difficult to know. You know, I wasn't quite sure how to pitch this, to be honest. At first, I thought of asking for 600, and the committee said no. I'll ask for 8. If we get our 500 from the other group, probably. But I suppose a relevant question from our end is, can we apply every year to this?
We've got obviously.
I was going to, sorry, Chair. I was going to ask that question next.
Yeah.
Whether this will be something that you'll be coming back to us for more funding next year.
Well, I think that.
If you see it in your mind's eye.
Yeah. I think what is likely to happen is that most of the infrastructure at Pinewood is complete.
Yeah.
There's still a few bits and pieces to do, but frankly, once that's done, then our funding is more going to be along the lines of, obviously we need insurance every year, and maybe if we want to put on an open day event, but then there will be some plants and things, a little bits of material, but there won't be, because we've had, you know, a lot of help from TCB of wood, you know, to make things like raised beds. But once they're finished, and they're nearly finished, and we've got some gravel at the moment to complete a path. Yes, we will need ongoing funding, but I think it will be much, much less.
Much less.
Yeah.
Ethan?
Yes.
I was going to propose that we offer £1,000.
And I'll second that.
Yeah. So all those,
Yeah, no problem.
they are £1,000.
Oh, we're so happy, thank you.
So thanks.
So happy about that.
It's fantastic. You know, what you bring to the community is, you know, it's amazing. We see every Thursday when you do your posts and stuff like that, we're like, wow.
Oh, that's nice. And then what, I mean, obviously we have a treasurer and we will account for it properly, but what do you expect from us as a result of that?
It'd be nice to come back and tell us what you've done.
Right.
You know, the sort of, you know, the harvest you've had, where it's gone to, and,
Yeah.
you know, and actually other projects you might be looking at.
Yes, okay.
There might be other projects you might look at, thinking, what, we're going to look at this area now.
Okay, lovely. And, you know, we look forward to
Fantastic.
Lee asking us through Will. That'd be great.
No, fantastic. Thank you very much.
So you don't need us to stay then? We
No, you.
£1,000 if stays here.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. That's absolutely lovely. Thank you.
I'll be in touch about the fund.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Lovely.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
That's good.
Really heartwarming.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
Heartwarming.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Real stuff
The
going
grants are all about.
real stuff going on in the community.
It made such a difference. Yeah. Okay, agenda item 5.2. So this is to consider a community grant application for £2,157 from the MK Food Bank towards the Beyond Food project. So as a summary, so the demand for the MK Food Bank's 2 levels of service, emergency food, parcels and top-up shops, has increased by 90% over the last 2 years. The increase is sustainable. Cost of living prices is not abating. We wish to implement a strategic plan to move frequent food parcel recipients to the greater independence of top-up shops. This would be more cost-effective for us as an organisation in the long run, meaning we could support more people and also be of greater benefit to the customers. So Beyond Food is a joint partnership between MK Food Bank and the MK Money Lifeline, which is an initiative for the food bank users who have reached their entitlement, that is, of emergency food parcels. The project will offer budgeting financial guidance sessions for frequent users. Right, so they're looking for 2157, and this sets up, this is like a laptop with security, some pre-project generalist money advisor training, and 10% of project additional resource costs. So they're not in attendance today. I'll just be interested in what members think before I say anything.
So MK Food Bank do a really good job. The issue that I have with this application, because I believe that we should turn it down, is that we are here to fund things that can happen in Bletchley and Fenny Stratford. There is no evidence in here that we do that. We also work directly with MK Money Advice Service, and I think it's, for me, we would be funding a party to fund another party, and we're working with that party already directly. I would rather, if councillors are minded to be doing more debt or money advice support, to work with the MK Money Advice Line directly to commission them to do work in Bletchley and Stratford, rather than fund this. And we're also working directly with Water Eater Community on kind of food, and that's a partnership that we have with them. And it just feels like we have 2 organisations that we're working with, their focus being really local. And whilst I kind of think it's a great job that MK Food Bank are doing, I just think we should focus on the local.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and obviously I didn't have all the paperwork, but when I see that, I thought, well, that's all over me on pens, and really we should be looking after Bletchley and Fenny Stratford rather than paying money into something that we're paying into and helping anyway, you know.
I think Ethan summed it up really well. So
So we're proposing.
I propose we turn it down.
Okay.
I second.
All those in favour of rejecting? Unanimous.
Abstain.
Sorry, abstain, one abstain, sorry. Okay,
Can we reject them kindly, because they do a great job?
they do, fantastic.
I just don't know, I think we need to explain the reason why.
If it's me, that's fine.
Thank you.
There's many questions as well, isn't there? When you're not attendance, it's hard to quiz. Okay, let's move on to agenda item number 6 on your agenda. So this is to consider a proposal to support the summer 2024 programme delivered by Bletchley Youth Centre using community grant or general reserve. So this is in page 33 and 34 in your pack. So they've got a number of summer events which they've planned, of which they've got some funding from Milton Keynes Council for the recipients of free school meals. What I believe this is for those which are not got free school meals, but there are places. So they're looking at £4,380, which is, as it's split between two. From us, okay, for 160 places of 16 days of activities. So it breaks it down from 2,260 staffing cost of 1,340, the total cost of 4,380,80. I'd be interested in anyone's thoughts on this agenda item in our response. Ethan?
Can I just ask Clark if it is in budget?
It's out, it's community grants, we've got the money there, the funds are there. I think
Okay.
it's about 16 grand left there for this year.
So we've not accounted with, this is unbudgeted extra activity that we,
Yeah. So it has, there's two options that come out, community grants or you become general reserves. That's the, if you wanted to support this, that's the decision you'd have to make. If it's reserves, it has to go to full council for recommendation.
Do we have any questions from any members? So this is trips and so activities here. Places like Howe Park Wood, Climb Quest, Salisbury Forest, Caldecott. The only question I've got is, so Milton Keynes Council pay for the free school meal children, which is, that's means tested. I don't know what the reach is. What does non-free school meals mean? Is there another means tester which makes these applications more than everyone else's children?
Or is it first come, first serve?
Well, it says reach those children who are already from our regular youth clubs who are not receiving free school meals. I didn't really understand how that's is it the challenge would be why would we be financing or if you're not under sort of benefits or
Exactly.
it's like your own children, so it's like, okay, you can go to that, but it doesn't seem to be tested at all.
Well, wouldn't it be better for us to ask them to come and explain what's what? Because there's no one here at the moment.
Yeah, they weren't able to attend tonight, but
No.
we can, it's up to you.
I think there's a lot of questions all around it. Yeah.
I can get some more information.
The question I'll ask is, so non-free school meal attenders, is there another means test for those, or is it just open to anybody, or do you have to be a member of the youth club?
I was going to say, Chair, I think the other thing is that they were running one group for Bletchley and West Bletchley, and so we don't know. If more people apply from West Bletchley, we might be covering them. We might be okay with that because they're saying pay half each. But like you said, they're not here to kind of ask any councillors questions. And just a reminder that people don't actually need to come here. They can just dial in via Teams. And so I agree with people saying perhaps we need to defer this to another meeting to It's kind of ask the question.
I thought all children qualified for free school meals.
Up to year 3. No, sorry, up to year 2.
Yeah.
Year 3. So if you're key stage 2, you have to pay. Yes, I had that shock.
So those in favour of deferring this item?
I propose we defer it.
So I'll get the extra information and maybe we can
Yeah, we need a bit more
maybe
information.
make sure it's available.
Yeah.
If they can't make it, they could come on there anyway. couldn't
Yeah, I
they?
think, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So let's move on to item 7. So these are planning applications. So we have, the first one is 24/01005/FUL. This is the erection of two temporary timber structures, see if I can, the shelter of vehicles, retrospective. So the erection of 2 temporary structures, really. So the background of this one here, the main application was approved in 2017 with no comment. And then they've come in for these 2 temporary timber structures. Any comments from any members? It's over in Bond Avenue, which is the industrial estate near the stadium, that area.
Yeah, I'll propose no comment again.
Any thoughts, any comments, anybody else? Ethan? So we're proposing a new comment from us all?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry. Oh, that's okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go on to item number 2, 24/00976/FUL. This is a land between the rear of 71 to 79 Victoria Road, Bletchley, Milton Keynes, MK2 2NZ. This is the erection of a 2-storey building for use as a 7-person HMO. So this is a part retrospective. So the background of this one is the application was permitted based on the erection of 2 bedroom flats and associated car parking and cycle parking and refuse storage. I've looked at the planning statement with that and had no objection to this one. So I'd be interested in anybody's thoughts on this proposal.
This is something
So it's not an existing house as well.
No, this is something different to the planning before, isn't it?
It's different, but from the planning statement, they have no objections in terms of there's a parking there. It's not a house which has been renovated to add an extra. It's actually the fabric of the building doesn't change, it's just the rooms.
So it's like an internal change.
Yes.
And if it's for 7 persons, so there's enough room for 7 cars.
So the actual the rules is 7 cars, only 7 cars. I think it's 4. Is it 3 or 4? 3 or 4? Because they said there's local bus services and there's nothing next to the station. Close to the station. There's been no comments from any of the public either.
Round the back of the Italian cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, when I had a look at it, there's a lot of room round the back there.
Any other comments? So I propose that we no comment this one.
No comment.
Those got a seconder? All right, thank you. Those for? Any against? Any abstentions? Okay. Number 3, 24/01181/HOU, 29 Antigua Way, Newlands, MK3 5GF. This is the erection of a detached rear garden room. Again, this is retrospective. from the previous, well, there was a previous application in, but this is a detached garden room at the back. Any comments?
No comment. What do you mean by rear garden room?
I believe it's a simple.
Wendy House.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, is it a granny annex? Is it rear garden room? Is it got anything with it? Is it just a room?
I think it's something a bit more substantial, so it's got foundations basically, and something a bit more than what you're allowed to do without planning, if that makes sense. So I think you're allowed, was it like 150 mil slab or 200 mil slab, something like that, to put like an outdoor room. In that sense, if you want something a bit more substantial than that, or something with brick and block or something like that, then I think you do need to go for the planning application.
Yeah. 3 meters by 6.
Or height restrictions as well.
It's lower than the
It's
original.
like a single story room, like an outhouse type situation, but that then turns into the conservatory, then turns into like.
They sell them down Dobbins, don't they? They sell them at Dobbins.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy through planning for it in that sense, but if you wanted something a little bit higher than the limits or wider than the limits, or, you know,
Like a shed.
footings. Yeah, if you wanted a substantial shed, you'd probably need to go for planning as well, but there's a certain amount that you're allowed to do without having to apply for a planning application. As far as I know.
No comment.
I propose we no comments on.
It's already up anyway.
Yeah, because it says for interested activity. It's already on.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we move on to item number 8. So this is pages 35 to 40 on pack. To review and note a financial management report showing expenditure against budget for the year to date on community environmental matters. Any comments on this? Just put to note. Any exceptions raised with it at all, Alison?
No, not that I was aware of it. I had you.
It's just been. No.
Question on line 4118, cost centre 4118, the street Iftar. Have we, is that a miscoding, or have we really spent money this year on a Iftar?
On the Iftar?
Yeah.
Davina, do you know about the Iftar expenditure? Which one is it?
As far as I know, it was all under last year's budget, so I don't know if an invoice has been paid in this year or something. I don't know. Is that what it is?
It looks like we've got a budget of 9,000 and have spent 382,000 this year. Sorry, not 382,000. 382 pounds. Sorry.
Ethan, I can check that. I'll check that, Alison, see what that is.
Yeah, potentially just an invoice that's been paid in this year or something instead, or I don't know.
Good spot. We'll check that out.
Yeah. Okay. Right, let's move on to item number 9. To receive a management and monitoring of environmental matters and to consider any recommendations therein. So I'll be over to you, Paul.
Yep. So you can see that the first item in this report is the allotment occupancy. We're currently at 100% across all our allotment sites. We've got 39 new tenants waiting on the waiting list. Then on to landscape maintenance. Seems to be going really well so far, obviously well into the mowing season now. We're on about halfway through cut 4. In terms of inquiries we've had since April, we've had 25 landscape inquiries through the app, 7 relating to grass, 2 relating to hedges and shrubs, 8 relating to trees, and 8 sort of any other item. and then on to Newton Lee's landscaping. So we're now maintaining Jersey Drive, which is the road obviously just outside the pavilion here. That's now been adopted by Milton Keynes City Council and subsequently devolved to us to maintain. We've started our contract with Stoke Hammond Parish Council for the Bovis side of their area. And then later in the year, we'll be doing the other half of their side of Newton Lees, so the Taylor Wimpey side, once their adoption is complete there. The play park on Galapagos Grove has also now been adopted by MK Council, and that has now been devolved to us. So we'll be starting maintenance on that this Friday. So all in all, you know, we're doing a lot more work in this area now, and obviously more to come in the future.
Sorry, just when you say devolved, is the plan? Are we responsible for maintaining the play park, or is
Sorry, only the landscape maintenance, yeah, not the equipment.
Okay. Yeah. And another question I have, or actually more of a statement. I have been doing some more work on the with a councillor from another council about the management companies that we have in Newton Lees. And I think that I've previously advised this council or committees that the management companies are responsible for cutting the grass at the side of the roads in the areas that have management companies. We have discovered that the grass verges adjacent to the roads have been designated part of the adoptable highway of that will be adopted by Milton Keynes, which means local residents in Newton Lees are actually paying for management for a service that is going to be handed over to us in the future. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that as more, it looks like all of the green grass between the road and a footpath that we have in Newton Lees is going to be handed over for us or devolved to us at some point in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, in the same way as, you know, across the road. Yeah.
So
you got about grass. I'm just going to ask a question about it. Do we come through you if we see a tree is in a dangerous state of repair, i.e. Victoria Road?
Yeah, I mean,
them trees are nearly on the other side of the road.
You can, of course, you can, Eamon. But in general, if you know, if there's an issue with a tree's integrity or, you know, the tree itself, then it's still Milton Keynes Council.
Yeah, it is.
And likewise, anything high up in the tree is Milton Keynes Council. The only thing we have responsibility for is crown lifting. So that's just the maintenance of the low level branches, basically.
Yeah, but it's nearly touching London's from the car park on the other side. Okay. And that's a primary route. So that means Arctics can come down there.
On what road, sorry? I'll look into it.
Road. Victoria
Road, okay. Yeah, we can report it on to Milton Keynes, take some pictures and send it on to Milton Keynes.
Actually, golf and like that.
Are we cutting the Lakes Estate rocks at all?
We're cutting most of the lake. Well, we're cutting lots of the Lakes Estate, but there are certain areas that are within the regeneration areas.
Right, okay. The bushes on the paths.
But it depends where it is.
Well, it's quite annoying actually, because when I go down to a walk down the canal to go to Walk Park, most of the bushes coming from the bungalows are overshot over the paths, right. So you can't get through. It's an utter nightmare.
From the owner of the property itself.
Yeah, but the trouble is, most of the people in their property haven't got, most of them are disabled and elderly, so they can't get out and cut the bushes down, and then they're annoying because they get in your face. If you're in a wheelchair, you've got a push chair, they just become overgrown and you can't get through. So
yeah, so Milton Keynes Council have got they've got responsibility for enforcement of encroachment on the highway.
Yeah, but I've already sent numerous emails to them and they can't be bothered to do it.
Okay, it's quite a long drawn out process because initially they have to ask them nicely, then they have to ask them a bit less nicely, and then eventually they'll cut it back themselves and then charge it to the homeowner.
What I feel like doing is getting a chainsaw and doing it all myself, or just cut it all down and they can all sort it. That's what it's getting ridiculous now, just overgrown. So I've already asked them and numerous times and nothing's been done about it.
So if you send me some pictures, I can report it on to Milton Keynes Council who have responsibility.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do.
Regards to some of the inquiries across the board.
Yeah.
And how well is the team resolving them? So
excellently, Richard.
I'm just trying to say. So
no, so by and large, very quickly.
What I know is that the team's sort of like keeping up with all the grassroots services, all the reporting, all the extra jobs that are coming in, and the team's handling it.
Yeah, I would say we're handling it very well and very quickly, you know. Yeah. Like night and day compared with how it would have been reporting to Milton Keynes Council in years gone by.
Yeah, that's what I want to understand is that
you know, some of the inquiries that come in, you know, like some of the ones we're talking about now, don't actually come into our remit, but we will pass them on where we need to. We've got Lee, our supervisor, you know, goes out regularly to check on the things that have been reported. That gets handed down to the third man on the team. We've got 2 out mowing, and then there's a third man picking up all of these bits and piece sort of jobs. So yeah, by and large, we're dealing with it very quickly.
Council, we're handling our own.
I think it's a good news story. I think it's good that you publish and sort of, you know, let the community know the sort of things we've had and you know, the sterling job you guys are doing.
I'm just asking because there was one that just came across me and I passed it on to Delia with you. So, I mean, the lady got back to me asking me what has happened. So I'm not aware of what was the feedback after that. So I know it went on, but it would be good to have a feedback so that, you know, you're aware of what to get back to the person. So yeah, it could be that it's already communicated to the council, to the Milton Keynes Council, but so that you could get back to the lady that this is what is the action which has been taken. So something like that, because
well, by and large we do. Yeah, we do that, of course. Yeah.
So communicating with the people that report it, we're in touch as well. Give them updates. This is this is what we're doing. This is what's happening.
Okay.
And that customer service element is what we do as well. Yeah.
Would it be worth not publishing, but publishing the result stuff that we're doing? You know. You know, just say that we've had X amount of inquiries in and we've resolved.
Yeah. That's kind of all you've got in the report there.
Yeah, we put letters.
For us, yes. We want to say to the public.
Yeah, we reported it in newsletters. You know, we put stories we can do more of. So I think kind of we can up that.
Yeah. Could we just take without the next reports and we resolve every single issue. So we're doing our job.
What do you think? Just say, I'm really pleased that app's being used. Yeah. So I was worried. Like I first of all, I was worried it wouldn't be. It seems. One thing I was going to say is. So can we, you know, so is it the system that when we close down it's saying that we've done it, or is that something that
it shows as resolved? Yeah.
No, and an email
automatically goes back. Yeah. So I was just thinking, could we actually add to the email? You know, could we create a survey? And because like what we hear, we see the resolved. Yeah. But what I think would be really good is for us to see how happy people are with the resolution. And I'm just thinking, could we kind of add to this thing?
Survey.
You know, so we get the feedback, because like what we're seeing is you're resolving them very quickly, but actually, I think in order to take that kind of good news story to the next level, we can actually say, well, you know, 100% of people are saying that they are happy with the thing, and I think that would be good.
So we've stored all the email data, you know, the email address gets put in as well, so we can certainly say, right, all our inquiries in the last 6 months. You can do like a customer thermometer survey where you take, you know, you recently inquired or reported how satisfied were you? And again, we can use those results to highlight, to highlight the effectiveness of it all. Yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah, we can do that.
I think we have to just do the ones where we're actually responsible.
Yes.
Rather than Milton Keynes.
Not see the results.
Because if they're disgruntled that, albeit we've passed it on because it's not our responsibility, they'll be disgruntled just generally, won't they?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, well, we stopped you mid-flow.
That's all right.
The
last one.
With all this stuff devolving from Milton Keynes as it's new stuff, do we get extra money for that?
We do. Yeah, we get something called change control documentation. Extra money. So it's all good. Yeah, so the last item within this particular report is just about the community orchard or potential community orchard site at Newton Lees. This is on the patch of land that came with the transfer of the allotment site at Newton Lees. And we have had a contractor, a specialist orchard contractor called Apples and Pears, come out and survey the land. And we're waiting currently for the report to come back from them with suggestions of what we might plant and sort of potential layout. So as soon as we've got that report in, it'll obviously be shared at this committee.
Good. Thank you very much, Will. Any questions before we move on to the next item? Amen.
I've done a digging because I don't know where the area was, but there was hundreds of thousands of cows burnt here in 1963 because of the foot and mouth. Have we come across any bones in the area?
Not to my knowledge, no, thankfully.
The remnants of a giant barbecue.
We'll move on. Okay. And item number 10. To receive an update report on the community infrastructure projects 23-24 and to consider any proposals from members about projects for the 25-26 funding round to be recommended to full council of July 2024. So is this something you can read, John, or?
I think, Will, you explained it.
No, that's right. That'll be me, Terry. That's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So for the 2023-24 projects, we had 3 projects that were approved for funding. The planters on Aylesbury Street. So we are still waiting for that to be delivered by Milton Keynes Council effectively. So due to the complications with the delivery and safe placement on the footway, this was to be project managed by Milton Keynes Council effectively. It's not happened yet, and we're sort of chasing in earnest to try and get it to happen. So we're still waiting at the moment to hear from Milton Keynes Council on the details of the supply that they're using and when they'll go in. The second project that was approved was speed indicator devices, or SIDs. So we purchased 2 of these, and the posts for them were put in, installed in May, and we've got posts in 2 locations currently. So that's Stoke Road, one on either side of the road, one post on Queensway, and that's the bottom end of Queensway, between Captain Ridley's and Fenny Stratford. So on that section of Queensway there. They're currently, the 2 devices are currently in situ on Stoke Road, all up and working. We're waiting to hear back from Milton Keynes Council now that Jersey Drive has been adopted. The original applications that we made included SIDs on or posts for the SIDs on either side of Jersey Drive. So we're hoping that they're going to go in as well. And the tuses that we've got will move between the 2 or 3 locations. Evidence says that they're better not just left in one location, but moved around and have a better impact that way. And then the third project, Community Infrastructure Fund project, was signage to the multi-storey car park at Bletchley Leisure Centre. Now, a scheme has been put in place, but it doesn't match our original Community Infrastructure Fund application. And we believe, or officers believe, it will have little impact in directing drivers to parking at the multi-storey car park as an alternative to Queensway. What's been put in is P signs on the lamppost down Prince's Way and a single P sign pointing into Bowling Green Lane itself. The application that we put in stated that we wanted it to say multi-storey car park. So we wanted to make it clear that there's a large pocket of parking there. We wanted something on the side of the building itself to make it clear. And we wanted something at the bottom of Bowling Green Lane, because even when you get down Bowling Green Lane, it isn't clear that there's a car park to your right hand side. So we're not overall really that happy with the scheme that's particularly. It's sort of a much watered down version.
Is there any way we can get of how many spaces that are left in the multi-storey car?
The same as you got in Aylesbury. Big sign.
Massive sign, 50 spaces left.
Yeah.
150 spaces left.
Otherwise, it's not worth the money doing it, is it?
Not worth doing.
Well, that's
it needs to be nice, big and bright. And
that's going to be one of the questions, is whether we want to refuse to pay towards it, being as it's so different.
Yeah, I would. Do they store any data at all? Is it literally?
Yes, they store data, so we'll be taking that data off, periodically. Yeah.
What sort of frequency will the data be pulled away? So,
we're going to move
anyway. Does it go to the TVP? Or
we will send it to the road safety team at Milton Keynes Council. Probably every 6 weeks. Probably every 6 weeks, which is when we think we're going to probably move them. Each 6 weeks, we'll move them to a different location.
It's only the speed though, the capturing.
Only the speed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ethan.
I was going to say, it's disconcerting to hear about the car park. Who is dealing with this? Who is it with highways?
It's highways, yeah.
So can we organise a meeting with them? I'm happy to attend via Teams and or whatever, if it has to be during the day, open to other councillors, and just say, I would rather not go back and say we're not paying for our half. I would like to say that our members are considering not paying our half, because this is not what we signed up for. And in the spirit of partnership working, what can we do? Because you want more people to use the car park. We both want that. What's been put in is not particularly helpful. And, so because this is a car park that cannot be seen from the highway, so you kind of want to know. I don't know if what we asked for was the digital display, which kind of says how much parking spaces. Yeah,
but we did ask for it to say 179 spaces.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
So yeah,
because we've been monitoring, or we have been monitoring for a period, and it's regularly underused. Yeah. It's 80% empty most of the time.
I also think that they've paid for, so probably a separate area of MKCC has commissioned a very expensive study from ACON, which was presented to us very recently. And actually we can use that to say, one of the things that it said is better signage. And actually this is not what's been put up. Yeah, so that's my proposal.
We're starting quite little to increase the graph. In the sun, because they're in the truth. Pathetic. I think in terms of disputing the pay towards the sieve signage.
The thing is, what we can't do is get patch fix in this town centre of ours, and we need something more that's going to be fit for purpose for the next 25 years, or for the next 10 years at least.
Well, how long has this been going on? Oh, God.
So, better signage is one, but, something a bit more.
Yeah.
Paint,
Well, it's not going to
or something more digital, something like that. It's going to be flashy lights or whatever. Something that's going to attract people's attention. A little P that make no difference.
Is it on Google? Yeah, it was on Google, was it?
What's that?
The car park, you couldn't even find it on map, Google Map or whatever it was. Probably still isn't.
Probably, yeah.
I have a question, is that I just want to know, who is maintaining that car park? Because on one day of the week, and I'm not very sure when it's Sunday, they close it by 7, 8 in the evenings. So it's closed. So
It does get closed.
It's a Milton Keynes Council car park. Yeah, that's why, we wanted to make it clear that anyone can park there. It's not a leisure centre specific car park.
That's my thought, because they're keeping it closed at certain times.
That was part of the deal when we went for planning permission. We had all those meetings up at the city centre.
Yeah.
What size swimming pool were we going to have?
Okay.
So the proposal for Nathan was to contact Milton Keynes Council, try and get a meeting with them to discuss that particular project. Yeah.
And you've got the 25-26,
Yeah, so we had the 2024-25 that was unsuccessful.
Yes.
And then 25-26 application process is now open. So open to any ideas from members. If there's anything that we think we might like to apply for funding, for that.
Apart from the parking signs, all the projects we did before we're still waiting for
We're still waiting for planters.
Yeah.
We only just got the post for the SIDS.
Yeah.
Problem with the parking signs. Yeah.
Now we're going to 25-26.
Wow.
And we've not finished. I'm just trying to say, I like to know that we've finished and completed, and you can see real difference in the area. Yeah, and that's, for me, with patch fixing our own town centre tile, we're not seeing projects finished off completely. It's for us to then move on to another project, and for the staff team as well, it's about, I think, moving on to a different chapter instead of having to revisit old stuff, but actually we've finished it all off and then we're moving on to some new stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think the more that we pile on top. So we still got to finish off stuff from 24, 25, 23, 24. And now we're going to think about more projects for 25, 26.
And it's match funded as well, so it's 50-50.
Yeah.
I'll say this is the problem with the Community Infrastructure Fund is we're beholden to Milton Keynes Council Highways Department,
yes,
who are very slow in getting these projects over the line.
Yes.
And then they don't always match our expectations.
And this is what, I don't know how to word it, but it's annoying that we can't finish up projects in our area, which is not conducive to moving the council forward, and it's not conducive to the public.
It took me 2 years.
It's frustrating.
You know that trough outside the Bull and Butcher?
Yeah.
2 years to get that there.
It's frustrating because we can't finish off projects in the area, so how can we think about another project?
We don't have to apply, Richard.
I'm not saying that we don't apply. I'm just thinking about the amount of work. I'm just thinking about the amount of work that the staff team are going to undertake if projects are not getting finished off. And I know we're beholden to Milton Keynes Council, by the way. I understand that.
Yeah.
But if we're not finishing off projects,
a lot of time spent in chasing Milton Keynes Council.
If we're not finishing off projects, how can we look at the area and say, oh, that looks good? Actually, we're going to have to wait till that's finished before we can start something else. So the bigger wider picture of Bletchley and Fenny Stratford isn't going to, it's like a painting. It's not going to be finished off.
Never is.
And that's how I look at Bletchley and Fenny Stratford and moving it on into the future. How are we going to finish the painting if we can't finish one part? It's like a jigsaw puzzle.
So we've got to the 31st of August to submit applications, but we've got a meeting between then and now.
So can we think about some bits and pieces and come back to that meeting?
I was going to say go one up above that, and is there a complaints procedure possibly? I mean, if it's not just one issue, it's multiple issues.
Thing is, we have chased on these projects and on previous years' community infrastructure fund projects, you know, all the way up to the highways manager, and still didn't really get anywhere. But, you know.
So I propose, as we said, we have the meeting. If they don't, then I'll contact the cabinet member.
And for other members, we've got a meeting in July of this committee. We can look at any potential applications to go in at the end of August.
Is that something we can think about, Chair, and come back to that meeting with some ideas from us?
And the criteria is here. I won't read them all out. I'll read for yourselves there. There's a couple of bullets there, which is the criteria on which these applications are available. Thank you very much. Any other comments? We'll move on. Okay, item number 11, to receive a progress report on confirmed arrangements for the 2024 Bletchley Big Street Eat. So over to you, Davina.
Hello, thank you. We are 6 weeks away from the best day in the summer. So let me just give you a little bit of an update of what we've got going on. I know lots of you will have seen this already. So what I'm going to do is share my screen. If I can work that out, there we go. Hopefully you can see the map. Can you see the map?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, so looking at the report, we've got a outline of the acts that will be performing. Some of the highlights are people like Amber Elephant, who actually they hire Newton Lee's Pavilion, and they came to us, which was really lovely to want to perform at the Big Street Eat. So they have a stand on the day, so they'll be encouraging people to kind of sign up to their classes and things. They've got puppet making and all sorts of bits going on in their kind of 3x3 space, but then they'll be performing on stage as well. And they're really, really good theatre groups. They do kind of acting and singing and all sorts of things as well. The formerly known Stencil Pencils, which are... Is that all right? Can you hear me? So the Stencil Pencils, they're now called the Childish. I think they performed. Did they perform in year one, John? I don't know, but they've definitely performed at Fenny Poppers, and they're always very, very popular. The Stencil Pencils. So they're on Ragdollianas, because obviously we're conscious we want to encourage this to be a kind of play element and the family day and getting people active and moving. So we've got Ragdollianas who are very good at that, and although it kind of typically you think of these things as being younger children, actually the kind of older children, kind of early teens, get involved in a lot of these kind of dancing and singing games as well, because they play lots of popular music. We've got the cheerleaders will be performing as well, and they're going to have a stand on the day. And we all know and love him. Chris Gregg will be running the stage, so he'll be making sure that the atmosphere stays up and lively. Just to note on, obviously we've confirmed the stage move from Stanier Square to the middle of the road, down here. Oh, hang on, there we go. Down on Brooklands, opposite Palmer's. And I was out today actually delivering the leaflets to the businesses for them to give to their customers to notify people of the road closures and stuff. And the feedback that we had, not only about previous year's Big Street Eat, but about the stage move, was incredibly positive. I was actually, like, Palmer's spent about 5 minutes telling me how excited they are about the Big Street Eat every year, and how they're really pleased that we've moved the stage to more of a central location. And also we had that very similar feedback from businesses down at Elizabeth Square as well. Really encouraged by the fact that we've got the Ferris wheel and hoping to bring some more atmosphere down towards that bottom end. So actually it was a really lovely walking the street kind of job today to get that feedback, really encouraging. So we've got so we'll have a really lively stage. I took the feedback that was provided at some of the previous meetings around making sure we've still got that walkabout acts element, the interactive entertainment element. So we've got kids characters coming, but they're not just a couple of them are people dressed up, but the others are kind of big costumes, so you will see them through the crowd. So you've got the list there, but people like Paddington, Cocomelon, Minions, etc. They come with a couple of them will be coming with a big dance party, so they'll do an element on stage where they kind of burst on and really entertain everybody, and then they'll be milling through the crowds and doing the same sort of thing with like bubbles and music and games, etc., interacting with everybody as they walk around. We've got a still walker, which should be really exciting, and again he's got music and bubbles and games that he'll be interacting with the crowd with. And then activities wise, I probably won't go through all of them individually because you've got the list there, but if you can look at the map, we'll start at kind of Elizabeth End, so we'll wow the crowds coming in through that Bletchley Leisure Centre car park. They'll see the massive Ferris wheel, and obviously we'll have kind of the welcome bit there. And then you've got the go-karting, which is huge and I think will be extremely popular. We've got Showtime Circus are back with us, and they're always again really lively, great crowd engagement. And they'll be doing all their circus performing and getting people involved, and they're taking that, you know, that active element around wellness and vitality, getting people up and moving. The soft play bus. We've also got actually MK Pathfinder. Obviously we're doing some work with them, so they're going to be doing a kind of cool little thing around like a mini Olympics thing, using things like how to use a wheelchair and doing chair yoga and stuff in this space here. They're going to be taking quite a bit of room and having a little active little bit around there, which is great. The rest of the street, obviously we've got stalls, so currently we've got 33 in total. The previous years we've had 40 to 45, so we're not far off previous years, but just be mindful that this year we've obviously got some larger inflatables, so we've got slightly less stall space, but we obviously still want to make sure that it's lively and well filled with a variety of food and drink and crafts, etc. Carrying on down the street, we've got the giant deck chair and the peat board out by Barclays. There's a nice open space, so we're going to create a bit of a dwelling around there, which is near the stage. And obviously looking at that health and safety element, we'll have some seating areas around the stage that kind of will dictate where crowds gather to keep the road nice and clear. All these bits will be the usual kind of stalls and food and things. A very popular gamers bus is back with us, and they typically have a big queue, so we've kind of given them a bit of room around here. And then Stania Square, you've got your penalty shootout. We won't talk about the Euros, and we've got the basketball inflatable there, massive curling. I'm very excited for this. I think this will be very popular actually, and it ties in nicely to the Olympics. And the Hungry Hippos, which is quite substantial bit of kit there as well, so that will take up quite a bit of room. We are implementing as well with the infrastructure. We're going to have speakers, so although the stage is kind of centre point, there are two speakers, one towards Elizabeth Square and one towards Stania Square, to ensure that anything that's on stage, any announcements, any music, etc., will be heard across both squares as well. So infrastructure wise, fully confirmed, stage, sound, power, medical support and photography on the day. So the only things really that are, I suppose, still to be 100% nailed up are just a few more stalls really, to make sure that we're filling the space properly. But we've already got, you know, we're quite easily get to 40 given what's kind of still in the pending pile. I just didn't want to put them on as confirmed because we're mid-conversation, as it were. So this was really about what's confirmed. I think that's it. Any questions?
Well done. Did you hear that? Davina?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you.
I said, well done.
Oh, thank you very much.
So rather than going on to the next agenda item, looking at the events working group, which do you need a working group pretty soon now, Davina? Or
yeah, so I need.
Is there anything to discuss? Or you want to
dates really?
Is it something that you feel we need, or do you think we are
Well, I mean, this obviously, yeah, I think this was quite a good update. So if everyone's happy, I'm conscious that there's potentially people who are in the working group who are not here today. So I'm quite happy to share around an email update based on what we've talked about today to make sure that everybody gets that. And then potentially we schedule one for 2 weeks before the big street eat, just to give you the final wrap up. So in that email that I'm sending out, I can suggest some times.
Yeah, and help you need from councillors as well, because obviously, you know, the officers do great work. I think we should be.
Oh, we definitely, we absolutely. Every single councillor, definitely. There's lots and lots of jobs on the day. We're going to have some activity sheets as well, so you can all get involved in doing star jumps and encouraging everyone to have a little go as well. So yes, please, if you haven't got the date in your diary, it's the 27th of July.
Yeah, if you can send out any tasks that are required, then people can look at their diaries now and make sure that they can support that then.
I can pop that in the email,
Thank you very much.
I'll be there as early as usual, Davina.
Sorry, Ron, say again.
I said I'll be there as early as usual to help out, because I'm always
there. Yes, sir, very, very helpful when you do that, so I appreciate it.
Got some gazebos for you, Ron. Got some gazebos for you.
That's great. Thank you very much, Davina. Is there anything else from the members before Davina move on to the next agenda item?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, appreciate it. Bye.
Okay, so let's go on to agenda item number 13. Because Davina's going to send an email out. Yes, and it's working with the quick half hour. To note a monitoring report on sessions provided by Money Lifeline, MK at Spotlight, pages 65 to 70 facts.
Yeah. So this is just a report that that Money Helpline do for us. We extended their services for 3 months, if you remember. I don't feel like, I mean, the feedback we're getting that the people are getting, they find it really helpful, but I don't think it's overly used. I think we could get more people there. As you can see from the report, I think there's 13 visits so far. And it's not, we're paying probably £100 per week. They're there for 2 hours on a Wednesday morning. So it's, I mean, the 3 months is coming up to the end of this month. That will be that third month. So we need to make a decision. Is it worth carrying on? Which I think it is, but I would probably recommend moving locations perhaps.
I was going to say, how well are we publicising this?
It's regularly publicised, in the groups, on our social media.
And we've only had an uptake of 13 people.
Yeah, I mean, it came up earlier about the food bank. We're trying to tell people, the people that come and get food bank as well. We have a food bank surgery here on a Wednesday morning.
Are they all unique people?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe that these are. There are 13.
Different people.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of notes on something else they said is about how many hours they spend with some people. So a notable outcome is they managed a housing application for a local resident, which take to about 6 hours of their time to help them do it. So I just feel potentially a change of location might help. But I don't know about any comments if they wanted to have it here or down at Sycamore House.
I'm just thinking what our service we could probably provide 13 people, 15 people, 16 people with the amount of money that we spend. Is it worth just having a number that we send them to if they come in for some advice, or they come to the council and ring the council and say we need some advice on money, and we give them the number to them to ring instead of having to pay for a service that really and truly no one's using. I'm just, do you know what I mean? Because if we're not getting an uptake on people using the service with the amount of money we're spending for that service, is it better that we just say to them, well, here's a number? I'm not saying to fob them off and say, here's a number, you get on with it yourself, but I don't know. Something to think about.
Yeah.
Sorry, just wanted to point out, but it looks like there's only 10 people from our local area.
K2.
There's one from Northampton. There's one from one of the villages on the outskirts of Newton Lees, probably straight in past our area. And there's one from Fishermead or Old Brook, that kind of area. So I think it's like 3 of them are not even from here.
We need a decision.
Well, it's we've got to the end of the month, so it's if we don't think it's worthwhile continuing.
I just think that we, in the case of not continuing the service, have an alternative to the service. Do you know what I mean? That we can still provide something to people.
Would the cost down if we reduce the frequency of their visits? Is it like a contract where?
Yeah, I think, you can pay per session. So we can do that. At the moment they come in weekly on a Wednesday to Spotlight, 10 till 12. And that's paid.
Yeah, because I guess if this isn't working, then we halve the sections. It would be a saving.
I didn't see it all, but we can stop the postcode in this second.
I was just going to add on to what we said is like, is this is it better to have a model where they're phoned or rather than have a pop and
have an advisor in there?
Yeah.
I can get that. We can look into that and get that information, see what they can do.
The only thing on the phone is that there are quite a lot of national sort of money advice lines already in that sense, and I guess this is more if somebody was after a sort of face-to-face, I guess.
Well, someone came from Northampton to the Spotlight Centre.
Yeah.
Just trying to.
Alternative options.
Seems that we should not extend for currently.
Yeah, so don't extend it, but just
demographic of it.
So do you want me to come back with some different options?
Yeah.
What I think that might be.
The MK17-7 could be Eton Lees. I do believe that Eton Lees has not got an MK3 postcode for some reason.
MK17. Wow.
Well, no, Newton Lees was originally MK17, but then they made it MK3 when they started building houses.
Thank you, John. Okay, let's go on to item number 14. So this is to receive a report on the planned summer youth activities, which is football.
So we're still working with the MK Play Association. We've kind of reduced it a little bit in number of sessions. Obviously, we can't have the ones on in later state because of all the building work that's going on where we'd usually have them, but they are going to be down Leon Rec and in Newton Lees. We're trying out 5 on 8 Lees football sessions, so weekly every Friday. There's 2 sessions for the younger 2 and the older 2, up to 30 places in each session. Our community engagement officer has just put the forms out there for people to sign up. I think it's become really popular so far. Again, to people in the area, so we're asking for address, which will be verified. And there is, so people can sign up for up to 2 sessions, basically. At the 6, they can join up to 2 sessions each week. So as again, it's, we're waiting to see. We only launched it last week, so I need to catch up with Naomi to see how many people she's got signed up.
Yeah, it's good to get some feedback on.
Yeah, I think it's been popular so far. I do a similar one over where I live, where my children do it over there with a different organisation, and that was really popular. It's at Leon School, so the AstroTurf there. So people from the latency can't particularly have the MK Play Association, they've got access to that as well.
It's also good for the older children.
Yeah.
Well,
It's good to see what
the youngsters.
Yeah.
It'd be good to see what the uptake.
Yeah. I'd say it only launched last week, so I can send them around.
It's been shared a lot, I've noticed.
It's been shared a lot. It's in the various pages.
Yeah.
So now we've worked quite hard just making sure, but I think it will be a popular one. It'll get filled up quite quickly.
Be good.
We just want to make sure that we address that it is just people in the area that enjoy doing it as well.
Good.
Which will be on. Look forward to seeing that start.
Yeah, good. Prizes and medals. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Any questions or move on? Members? No. Okay. Right. Let's move on to item 15. This is a report from the Bletchley Youth Centre on their Easter project.
This is what we spoke about earlier, they want to do for the summer one. This is what we did for Easter. And they just kind of wanted to share the details of it, kind of success, and kind of say thank you to us for providing the funds to do it, basically.
68 young people, 7 to 15 years old, collective attended 131 sessions. Yeah. Any questions? No. It's good to get feedback.
I think, Chair, the main thing with these projects is to make sure that, one, they're working, two, that the uptake is good, and three, we're providing the services town council first.
Yeah, so we had overall 180 spaces available, of which 131 attended. So, okay, thank you. Item number 16, a note to report on the Water Eaton Community Hub now, isn't it?
We'll continue in another year to support them in the funding that we did last year. So they've just included a report just to give you an update on the progress of it so far. And they've included kind of membership numbers as well, where they've seen an increase in their membership numbers still. And they've also just included some information about the work that's going on there that they've done. You obviously attend, don't you?
I don't know. My work days, my office days are changed, so I suppose pay as you go, if I can go at all now.
But if you've got any questions about the lot, I can try and answer myself or get further information. But it's still proving to be a very successful partnership for the town council that we're supporting.
Next. And finally, we have a letter of thanks from the Milton Keynes Golden community. So, Celia's got a few words on that one.
Yes, it was quite a successful event that was held. There was a lot of activity. We did a lot of the egg hunt, the DJ, the music, the dancing. People were quite, they were informed, of course, with the support that was received from the council. And they were very, very enthusiastic to know that the Fenny, Stratford and the Bletchley Council, the Parish Council has actually supported them. It was something new for the community to be made aware of, which was really, really something very flattering. That's why it was like, no, we need to kind of really go back and we need to thank them, because really the kids enjoyed, the people enjoyed. It was a lovely event. The food was great. Of course, it was very authentic, Goan cuisine. And the person did come from London to do the catering. But yes, it was a very lively event. Thank yous in the air.
So will they be doing it again?
We would, yes, we would like to. But I think the next thing, what we'd like to do is kind of in Bletchley and Fenny, Stratford, get a cultural event. So, you kind of get people from different cultures involved with each other, create more of like your food, my food, things like that.
I mean, that's what the big street is all about.
Yeah, the big street would do something like that with a lot of events, but, to have something more of a indoor rather than like an outdoor with, of course, that's going to be something. And there was also a note that I did put up to Javina, and I was talking to Delia about it as well. It's like on the stage, if we can get different people like this community as well and other communities, because I know others as well from the different cultural backgrounds, to stage a dance or their own DJ type of music, whatever. So I did put it up to her. Is there a possibility? Would there be a time frame to do that? And the only idea for that was to get more foot movement, of the people in there. Of course, there's a huge community. People like when that community is performing, I get more footage on the ground, things like that to encourage different communities. Come for a small stage dance, for a small DJ, give them about 40 minutes on a little bit of different type of music. So that was something I was discussing with Delia and with Davina. Can we do that? Because I know people who are available. The sound is there, everything is there. All they need to do is come and plug in music. And
I think we did that in our first big street in.
Okay.
Different communities come and did various dancing, and we had Hungarian dances, we had Irish dances, we had the big street was designed to bring community together, to celebrate different culture, different foods, inclusion, and
I don't know whether
together.
it's something we can think about for the big street, which is the upcoming event. And if there is opportunity of putting a time slot, might as well just, I could get in touch with 2 or 3 communities and tell them, you know, even if they don't have a stage dance ready or whatever, the kids can come together and put up a stage dance or whatever, or get their DJ type of music, gather their community around it, and have some more footage on the ground.
Yeah, something to build into next year.
Maybe thank your chairs for the letter.
Yeah.
It's well received. It's good to see that.
Yeah, I think Delia did reply back very well.
Yeah, it's nice to see that. Okay, any questions before we wrap up? Okay, I can declare the meeting shut at 20:50. Thank you very much.